As far as full circle moments go, this one has to be up there. I recently spoke at the Northern Snow Show at the Chill Factory in Manchester, an amazing expo that showcases brands, businesses and people surrounding the snow sports community. And I say full circle because only 7 months ago, I booked my first 5-hour beginner course at the Chill Factory. What I didn't realise then though is how much I would enjoy snowboarding and what this project actually means to me. Only 2 days later, I was back to do the intermediate section, and then within a week, I was off to Finland to do my first ever snowboarding trip. This snowboarding project for me has been the first time in a long time I've felt connected to what I'm doing. It's made me feel happy, it's made me feel challenged. I'm really honoured and grateful that I get to share my story at places like in the Northern Snow Show, and even though the journey is still relatively new, I'm inspired to constantly show up online and inspire others to get into the snow sports community and to make it relatable and accessible as possible. But without further ado, I realised I haven't sat down and shared with you my own values and intentions behind the project and what I want other people to take away. So because I've just shared this at the Northern Snow Show at the Chill Factory in Manchester, I'm going to sit here and share that with you guys as well. So I've always had this deep obsession with winter since I was a kid. I've got memories of playing in the snow with my dad. I've got memories of my mum giving me plastic bags to wrap around my feet to keep them dry when playing in the snow. It didn't work, but I came home, even in agony, with such happy memories. And these early stages are what really solidified my love for winter. It's just really fun, it unlocks an inner child play, but unfortunately growing up I didn't have that direction or guidance to get into snow sports. I didn't have any friends that did anything like it. It wasn't accessible to go to the Alps as a family on a vacation, and I didn't live near a dry slope or an indoor slope, so that's why I kind of forgot about it all the way through into my 20s. And with the work that I was doing through that time, especially in my early 20s up to late 20s, I was basically being an influencer with the two bohemians. So I got lost in chasing the vanity metrics of social media and keeping up a face online and basically pursuing something that wasn't really right for me. And I only realised this when I found out my dad was diagnosed with cancer and unfortunately lost him 2 years later. So this was the major catalyst that kind of made me reflect on what I'm doing with my life and what I want to be doing moving forward as well. And because I had this connection to winter since I was a kid and having a couple of experiences growing up, that kind of made me realise how important the mountains are and winter is to me. I had a couple of ski trips through work that kind of made this more apparent, but on one of the most recent ones, it was after my dad passed away, and it was the first time in a long time, because it was a ski trip and in a beautiful location in Italy. It was the first time in a long time that I felt connected to my work, that I was grateful to be doing what I was doing, and that I was enjoying it. And these feelings were so overpowering that when I was actually skiing down the hill, I couldn't contain them. I burst out into tears on the side of a mountain surrounded by Italians and Germans. And I was like, I'm working too hard, I'm not doing the things I want to do, I need to slow down, I need to heal, I need to grieve. So that was like the awakening, you could say, but I didn't actually get into snowboarding a year later. And throughout this entire time, since that catalyst, I was just consuming so much snow content, skiing, snowboarding, alpinism. I just wanted to put myself in that environment, but I put myself in this box with the brand that I created with the two bohemian. I found it really hard to separate myself from that and to find my own identity. So throughout this entire time, me and Tyler were having these conversations about basically pursuing our own individual needs. And throughout this entire time, I just had this gut feeling about snowboarding that I needed to follow it. I would have so much fun if I did, and I knew I loved snow. I'd been skiing previously, even though I was a very bad skier. So I thought with these two things, I know that I would absolutely love snowboarding. So I booked my first 5-hour lesson at the Chill Factory, and I spent 4 hours of that on my backside, sliding down the slope. But only 2 days later, I was back again to finish the course, and then Finland a week later. So the process into Project FREERIDE, there's so much more to it and many more layers, which I don't really want to trauma dump here on the video, but it's been outstanding in my mind for a long time, and I feel as though now I'm pursuing it, it's given me something that's helping me progress as a human. I love the challenging aspect, I love the inner child play, and this mixed with snow makes this beautiful addictive cocktail that makes me want to do it more and more and more. So with this, there's 3 things that I want to basically do with the project, and the first one is to make snow sports relatable. it's incredibly hard to get into snow sports in the UK, and even more so later in life, because you feel as though you've walked down your path and you're so far from what you're supposed to be doing. So when people see myself learning later in life, I'm 30 years old when I started, sharing the vulnerable side of actually learning and failing at snowboarding, showing the vulnerable side of feeling like an imposter coming into a community when I had no previous connections there, it encourages other people to consider snow sports. And for me, if I saw this content sooner, I know I would have been inspired to start snowboarding sooner. So the first one is relatability, but the second one is that I want to inspire other people to get into snow sports with this project FREERIDE. Like I said, snow sports is not accessible in the UK, but there are so many benefits that you can have from spending time in the snow, in the mountains, and feeling like you're progressing with that skill as well. I've benefited so much from starting to snowboard. Like I said, it's been the first thing in a long time that's made me feel like I have a sense of direction and purpose with what I'm doing. So the first one is relatability. The second one is to inspire other people. But the third one is the most important one, because without this, the first two don't even happen. And that's, I want to be inspired. I want to come into snowboarding and feel a sense of fulfillment. I want to be inspired, I want to be motivated, I want to be challenged in a positive way, and I want to fill my own cup up, because when my own cup is full, I can then pour into other people's cups. And how I'm feeling and my emotions affect those around me, affects the relationship with Tyler, my friends and my family. And I've gone through such a hard time in the past couple of years that I've realised how important it is to take care of yourself first, so you can then help other people around you. So those are the three things. Now you're thinking, okay, we've got these three things for the project, but how am I going to make it happen? How am I going to make it, relatable and accessible? And how am I going to be inspired through this time? Now, one of the core things that I value, that I keep talking about throughout all my work, with the content I've shared and what I mentioned here, is community, and finding a sense of belonging in this community. And me coming into the snow sports feeling like an outsider, it was tough, I'm not going to lie, and this is one of the things that didn't make it accessible, because I didn't have that community around me. So going forward, I want to be hosting more trips so I can get people into snow sports, to get them, in places and destinations that make them feel fulfilled and inspired, and want them to progress more so with their own journey in winter. And my first trip is coming up. It's going to be to Finland next March, 23rd to the 28th. And Finland was a place that I really resonated with as a person, and it was the first trip that I took to snowboard. I went from blues to reds to blacks, slid all the way down the black slope, and went back to blues because I lost my confidence, but then built it up again. But Finland, I find, is the perfect place for various people and riders of all different styles to have fun. We're going to a place called Puha, and it's going to be a place that offers great park options, great pisted runs, great backcountry riding as well. And it's such a unique destination because Puha Tunturi, translated to English, means holy hill. So the indigenous Samis people were pulled to Puha because it had this kind of magical essence to it, and I felt that every single time. And it's stunning to see the marshmallow trees when you're riding in the backcountry, when you're going down the piste for the last run of the evening, and this beautiful orange sunset fires across the sky, or even when you've had your sauna and you're going out to dinner and you can see the northern lights just dancing across the sky. It's absolutely stunning. This is a place that has made me feel more connected to winter, more connected to what I'm doing as a creator, as sharing this message with Project FREERIDE. And that's why I want to share experiences like this. It's inspiring me to inspire other people, and me hosting an event like this makes snow sports, skiing, snowboarding, etc., more accessible, because I'm providing a space for people who necessarily don't have their friends or family to go on a trip with to join this, in a sense. If you are interested in Finland, I will leave a link in the description below. But yeah, that is the context of Project FREERIDE. It is still early doors. Like I said, I started learning 7 months ago. So next winter, it will be my first full winter dedicated to riding, to getting confident on the board, to getting confident riding in various conditions, on piste, off piste, and just really pushing my ability on the board and sharing, the progress with you, sharing the journey with you, and still inspiring other people as well. So there's definitely lots more to come, and it will develop and it will adapt over years to come, hopefully, as well. But I'm really stoked to be here, and like I said, sharing this journey with you guys online and at places like the Northern Snow Show. And I really feel like there is a great sense of purpose behind what I'm doing here. It's not just me sharing a journey and wanting to get into snowboarding, but I'm trying to positively affect other people's lives so they can have the same experiences and feel the same level of happiness that I have as well. And happiness definitely is the overall thing, because happiness is not necessarily the pursuit of excellence, but it comes from a feeling knowing that we are finally becoming who we want to be, and I've definitely felt that with snowboarding. So thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, then please hit like and subscribe and leave a comment. The link to the Finland trip info is in the description, and as always you can catch me on social media at Luke Bohemian, sharing my journey and the videos from Project FREERIDE. So peace and thank you for watching. God, I need a drink of water because I've been talking for absolutely ages.